Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Walker Ford, sunny Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? We have it once again. This is the 2021 all-new Bronco Sport. This particular one is an entry-level base trim. But before we get into this small size baby Bronco, let's talk about what's going on here. So, unless you've been living under a rock or just hibernating or something, the Bronco is back. And it's coming back in two different flavors, Bronco Sport and Bronco 4x4. Now, the Bronco Sport, being that smaller Bronco, is being affectionately called the baby Bronco. If you're saying to yourself, well, this is blasphemy, how does Ford do this? They ruined the Bronco name. Well, guess what? This is not the first time that they've had a smaller size Bronco. There once upon a time in a galaxy very far away was a Bronco called the Bronco 2, which is a smaller Bronco. That was back in 1984. The original Bronco, of course, hit the trails in the 1960s. With the Bronco Sport, it's on the Ford Escape chassis, which is going to keep it in that smaller size. But what Ford is saying is that there's big space to the interior, and I really want to showcase what do you get when you go base trim. There's many different ways to trim this out. This is that lowest trim level, just the base Bronco Sport. I want to find out, is it worth your hard-earned money? And is this a standout 4x4? Because remember, it's standard 4x4 across all the trims for a base and your money. Let's go ahead and find out. First of all, love the color. It's called carbonized gray, a nice metallic gray, and I think it balances well with all of the flat black that we're going to find. Now, when we get to the headlight setup, you can see our LED. You do get LED daytime running lamps. You have that projector beam style headlight, and everything else in there is a nice balance of some silver and a little bit of gloss black. You work your way down. We have some non-functionality. I'm not going to zonk it, but I wish that manufacturers would stop filling in the gaps, because normally there would be fog lamps here. They decided to put this little ridge thing of a design. Not really digging it, but this is a base. Now, when you come across the grille, same overall grille design. It's non-functioning up top. You do get gloss black on the Bronco name. Remember, you can trim that a different way where it's a nice bright white, but you do have functionality in the center and obviously in this larger area. Everything else is going to be flat black. The good news is, over time, I think that this will show a lot better than if it was gloss black or something shiny like that. So it's really clean, simple, straightforward. When you get up onto the hood, same story. Whether you go Big Bend, Outer Banks, Big Dipper, Little Dipper, with this base trim, you're gonna get the same exact hood, and it's stylish. It looks great, even from behind the wheel. I love the way it looks. Gives some nice visibility, a unique driving experience. When you come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So when you go base Bronco, here is your base wheel. Metallic silver, simple on the design, but you know what? It's a clean look with our carbonized gray. 225 on the width, 65 series sidewall, and really just liking the nice bright. So of course you're gonna get the Bronco badge in the center. I'm so glad that they created a beautiful looking badge like that. And I think it really just kind of encompasses the whole tradition, the heritage that goes with the Bronco name. Now, as you go down the side fender, you can see the nice hard body line. You do have a fake vent here, which I am gonna zonk. I wish they would have done something with this little area. Flat black, just like a flat black on your mirror caps. We do get a little bit of gloss black, and I kind of like it, especially with the way there's some other gloss black on the side. You have these high mounted roof rails. Think about it. A lot of other vehicles that are base trim, this is one thing that goes right away, because this is a good way to cut costs. Not on the Bronco Sport. Nice rise. You're gonna get that safari style hood, which is perfect. Flat black, or excuse me, not hood, roof. Hood's up there, roof is over on the top side. Flat black on the door handles, and of course on the lower sill, also that same plastic material. Now, as we work towards the rear, you can see that, like I was saying, the safari style roof. You do have a large area of gloss black, but I do love the corner windows. The corner windows have a great shape to it. Really has some Land Rover-esque styling. Honestly, you got to see this in person if you haven't yet. When you get to the tail end of the business, you do have that remote control car, that RC radio control car antenna, which I despise. So I am zonking that. But you do still have the ability to have your lift up glass and your lift up hatch area, of course. The Bronco Sport badge in gloss black. We drop down, and then of course, to finish it all off, we have a flat black simple rear bumper. Other than that, clean design. Why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Bronco Sport Base. All right guys, I popped the hood. I am gonna zonk the prop rod specifically for the location. I know this is a base. Get it over to the passenger side. Why is it right here, almost in the middle? What you're gonna have to do is get your magnifying glass out or bring your phone or screen closer to your face, because guess what? There is an engine underneath the hood, I promise you, not just a hamster and a wheel. What you're looking at, you do have that Nerf style engine cover, EcoBoost power. So we have turbocharged power. You can hear some sirens going off because there's a big sale here at Walker Ford. It's literally a fire sale. They're burning some things out in the back, but you're looking at a 1.5 liter, 3-cylinder, inline 3 turbocharged engine, 181 horsepower, 190 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic, so no CVTs. At least they got that right. 0 to 60 in about 7.8 seconds. Top speed, 125 miles an hour. MPGs, you're looking at 25 in the city, 28 on the highway. And remember, like I said, 4x4 capability. You do have the option though. You don't have to go this route. You can get a 2-liter EcoBoost motor with a lot more power, but obviously you gotta go higher up the trim. Here on Rady's Rise, we like to bring all the different trims, and that's why we're doing this one. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to that interior and see what you're getting for your hard-earned money. All right guys, we're inside the 2021 Bronco Sport, that base entry trim. I know you're at that point where you're saying, all right, Joe, I'm willing to watch this review. I love watching your reviews, and I'm here to tell you thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for thinking that. But I know you're at that point. You're like, if this is a base, there better be some good savings. How much is it? MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is right around $28,125. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, you're gonna get that neoprene material. It's semi-soft up top, a little bit of like metallic flat silver. Everything else is gonna be flat black. The armrest is as small as a toothpick, but it is soft, which is good. And then that door pocket, you can literally put a big gulp in there and probably 2 egg rolls from 7-Eleven easily in that door pocket. But it does have enough space for a big gulp, so that's good news. When we get to the dash, look at the AC vents. Do you see the design? It's a B, just like the taillights. I don't know if you noticed, taillights is also a B. The reason why it's a B is because Bronco starts with a B. So there you go, little spelling lesson for you. That neoprene material, soft, easy to clean. Everybody gets the 8-inch infotainment system. It's that Sync 3 system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Of course, it is a touchscreen, which is nice. You don't have navigation, but you do have the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto, which is wonderful. Flat black, Twinkie tray. We've already maxed it out. You can fit 4 Twinkies across. The flat silver is tasteful. You don't have to worry about fingerprints. I mean, look at this. It's like I'm playing a piano, but you don't have to worry about fingerprints. You do have a key ignition. So this is your Bronco Sport, the base. This is your key fob. It says Bronco in case you forgot what car you bought. And then you flip it around, you get your lock, unlock, and then your red horn button. There's a red horn that comes with the Bronco Sport. You hit that. It's not a switchblade. It's actually the key. Fire up. There you go. AC controls, they don't get any more simple than this. The only easier AC controls is if I gave you a piece of paper and told you to fold it and use it as a fan. So you have your blower fan switch right here, and you have your temperature. We got a nice large area down here. You can get some king size Snickers, slide them on in there. USB-C, USB, and a 12 volt. Just don't stick your finger or anything else attached to your body in there. Flat gray, 2 cup holders. That's going to control your 8-speed automatic. It's that rotary dial. You can make a phone call. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, Mom, how you doing? But anyways, put it back in the park. Oh, we almost forgot. Backup camera. Lori's going to kill me on this one because we're bouncing all over the place. But backup camera, 8-inch. You do have trajectory. It's actually fairly clear. I'm impressed with that. And it does take up all 8 inches. Also, you're getting the GOAT modes. So you're going to get those different modes for when you are going on different terrain. Because remember, we do have that 4x4 capability. Semi-soft, open that bad boy up. You have another 12 volt, and you easily could drop a box of Twinkies in there. We've done it here on Rady's Rides. And then you're going to, of course, get cloth seats. If you're hoping for the leather seats, yeah, you might as well hope in one hand and crap in the other and see which one fills up faster. But you do have the cloth seats here. They are really grippy. Manual seat controls, which is to be expected, but they are comfy. I mean, I feel good in here. I got plenty of headroom. Coming over though, the business end, I have a rubber steering wheel I want to show you. All right, guys, we're behind the wheel of this Bronco Sport. It's really fascinating because even though it's sitting on the Escape chassis, it does not feel like an Escape in here. It actually feels more spacious and better laid out. But you do have your manual seat controls that are easy to get to and adjust. You got the Bronco name on the plate here. That allows you to remember, like I said, what vehicle you bought. You do have a rubber steering wheel. The good news is it's easy to clean. It's gonna probably last forever, just as long as a Twinkie. Rubber steering wheel and a Twinkie will go the same distance. You do have the Bronco badge here. If you want a leather steering wheel, go higher trim. A little bit of silver, everything else is flat black, even on the buttons. And then the dash is as simple and as straightforward as they come. You have an analog tach, speedometer, you do have the digital gauge in the center, coolant and fuel, and then when you go through your different modes, see how we have normal, we have sand, eco, sport, and slippery. It's cute how they put for normal, they don't just put like a picture of your next door neighbor or something that's really normal. They actually put an image of the Bronco because you're in the Bronco Sport. That means you're cool, you're part of the club. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna feel just as cool as you sitting up front. All right, guys, back seat time, and this is where that safari roof really comes into play because you have so much space back here, it's ridiculous. Being 6 feet tall, I feel almost smaller sitting back here just because of how much room there is. Now, cloth all the way around, they hollow out the back to give you even more leg room. You don't have any rear AC, but look at this. Even on the base, they give you a USB-C and a USB. The only thing is that if you bring your abacus with you, you're gonna have to probably hold it in between your legs. There's no pocket for your abacus. Just please, if there's gonna be any type of accident, God forbid, take it out from in between your legs or you may not be able to have children or walk for a very long time. No armrests, but we are in a base. But you know what? The seats do 60-40 split, which is nice. And you do have some nice LED lighting. Why don't we check out that cargo area and see what we could put in the Bronco Sport. All right, guys, what I love about all the different Bronco Sports is that they give you that same flexibility with opening up just the rear glass or the rear hatch. Before I open anything, there's that B-shaped taillight I was telling you about. I wasn't pulling your leg. Now to open up the glass, real simple, hit the button, lift the glass up. This is great if you just gotta quickly get to something in the back and you don't wanna lift up the whole back, or you don't want anything to fall out when you open up the rear hatch. And then to open up the rear hatch, it's simple. Just use a little muscle, it hydraulically goes up. Even on the base trim, you do get the LED lighting, which is great, especially if you're camping or tailgating. And if you're doing either of those, of course you need that required bottle cap opener, so important. But what I love about the Bronco Sport is the size, the width, the height. You can literally get 2 adult size mountain bikes and get them in there very easily. So you don't even have to worry about getting any kind of special carrier for your bikes. You do have a 12 volt and you do have LED lighting, which is wonderful. And of course, those seats are gonna do that 60-40 split to maximize. You're looking at almost 30 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold the seats down, you're looking at 60 cubic feet of space. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in our 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine. All right, guys, we're in the 2021 Bronco Sport, that base trim, on throttle. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, I'm not gonna say that that was the fastest on throttle acceleration, but you know what? For a 3-cylinder, it actually, compared to a lot of other vehicles that we've driven at this price point, isn't too bad. Now, I personally, if I'm gonna go Bronco Sport, would go with the 2-liter EcoBoost, which is an inline Ford turbocharged engine. But even at this base trim, it isn't that bad, especially when you're looking at the 4x4 capability that all the different trim levels have. Now, like I was telling you, looking out over the hood, it is a good looking hood. I gotta give them that. They did a great style on the hood. When it comes to the interior bits, obviously, you're gonna have some harder materials in here. But I promise you, if you spend a little bit more, you get a lot more in return, especially when it comes to the seating material and whatnot. Visibility is really phenomenal in these Bronco Sports. And I think that, to be honest, they should get rid of the Escape altogether and just have the Bronco Sport. Because for me, if I was looking for a vehicle this size, I like the overall layout of the interior a lot better in the Bronco Sport. Plus you got the name, the Bronco name, which is just a cool name. So much heritage, so much history there. But pulling away from the light, you can see the 8-speed automatic. We're not dealing with CVTs. On throttle, here we go. So you definitely get up to speed. Not the fastest, but definitely not the slowest. I've been in slower vehicles, that's for sure. But it does have overall smooth drivability. You are waiting a little bit for the boost, but overall it pulls quite nicely as you go through the rev range. And having the 8-speed automatic, like I said, it shifts well, it's smooth, and it's not a ton of buzzing sound, even though it is such a small engine. All right guys, driving down the road, you are getting a bit of wind noise, but that's to be expected with the overall shape of this Bronco Sport. But very smooth driving, the seats are comfortable, they are supportive, and like I was saying, for $28,000, I mean, you do get some nice overall feel when you're driving this vehicle. Now, if you do go to other brands, say you're looking at a subcompact Seltos or say a Hyundai Kona or even a CX-30, you are going to get more finishes and more technology for the money. But what those don't have standard is the 4x4 capability, and those don't have as much room as this Bronco Sport does. All right guys, on throttle, here we go. Let's see how the Bronco Sport is gonna handle. You know, you might think that being a little bit boxier, that center of gravity is gonna be a little up, but you'd be surprised. It's actually quite composed on the streets. I'm looking forward to getting a press fleet vehicle of the Bronco Sport to really see what kind of capability it has when you do go off-road, especially in the sand and dirt. Obviously, these are not meant to be any kind of rock crawling vehicles or anything like that. But obviously, driving in a high traffic situation, visibility is really, really good. Going into this left-hand bend, a little bit of roll, but you know what? Stays planted all the way around. Here we go. Nice and smooth, back onto the highway. It is surprising, it does not feel like a 3-cylinder. It feels like you're in a 4-cylinder turbo, which may not be much of a compliment, but this 3-cylinder actually is not as bad on acceleration. It feels, I don't know, it feels like it should be slower, but it's not, which is a good thing. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up and get back to Walker Ford, so I'll see you in a split second. All right guys, it's been another great day here at Walker Ford. I definitely gotta thank Weston Walker, Frank Walker, Tracy, Austin, Mark, Randy, the whole crew, getting us yet again another 2021 Bronco Sport. This particular one, the base, it's interesting to see what you get for your money, because they always show in the commercials and magazine ads the top trims. But it's nice to see what happens if you don't want to go that full, you know, high trim, fully loaded. This is what you get for your money. You definitely want to add one of these to your shopping list if you're looking for a, you know, off-road style capable small SUV that has a lot of room to the interior and a distinct look. But if you want to keep seeing these small SUVs on Rady's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you and the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera, Lori, out here working her butt off, holding that camera down. It's been pretty windy today. but yet she has stood firm. So thank you, Lori, for all that you do. Show her some love in the freaking comment section, please. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.